Hey YouTube, this is Kevin for the Cyber channel. Today I'm doing a Guardian profile, the Shizurucia Dark Dot deck for green and blue, with obviously the new cards in it. The next two profiles will be the other two decks, and I believe this is the most simplest deck you can construct with the new cards. And there's some possibilities that you can run some of the old stuff, but it's very minimal. Also, there are some extras I have on the side, so you can put them in to replace with cards in here, possibly for consistency reasons and all that. So this is my version of the deck. This is not a take on any other build. I think I can make that self pretty clear. So yep, we're gonna start. First is four of the double rare Lucias that have the effect like Amagi from Kentai. What she does is when you play a climax, you can pay one out from the stock, look up top four of the deck, choose one Shizuru or Lucia, and put one into hand, and put the rest in the waiting room. So she is a very powerful card in the early game. Also the main engine, pretty much. So also you can tap herself and then give a Shizuru or Lucia 1k until the end of the turn. So very good serving as a back row character. So yeah, and you can with this you can find ways into choosing your effects to proc or to activate in your order. So like when you play a climax, there's a stock soul on this deck, so you can choose the payout before you do the stock soul, or you can use the stock soul's ability, add one soul to your board, and then pay it out. So it's pretty much your choice. And there are more interactions with the gold bar too, when I go over to that later. Next is three of the Drawn Blade Chizuru. What she does is on play, you look at the top two cards of the deck, rearrange them, put them back in the order you choose, and then on attack, you can mill one. If that card's a level 0, you can call it into the back row, and it doesn't have to be open per se. You can play over something if that situation calls for it. So yeah, very useful with this card. And I think that is the only back row card I play, so this is pretty good at 3, and also at the end game if you need to do some checks to make sure you know your triggers and all that, you can make use of this card. So it's a pretty solid card and could be splashable in almost any deck. It's just if you need a chop check, it's there for you. Next is Curse Lucia. She is the bonder to gloves, notably. All you have to do is damage yourself 1, and you can bond to the gloves event from the waiting room. And then her other ability is on play. Alright, that bond is on play, obviously. So her other ability on play is you can discard 1 from hand, and you can put a Lucia or Shizuru from clock, put it to hand, and damage yourself 1 to replace that damage. So very important card to have. You can run this at 4 because you may want to prioritize the combo that this card goes with, but 3 is a safe number because I believe of the games that I've played, I kind of want to see this later than earlier, but you can obviously do things in the early game if somehow your key cards are in the clock early, and you can just opt in to play this card from hand. So very useful tool, and has a combo feature in a card later. Next, I'm only running 3 runners because it might be, well, first of all, I think 4 is a good number to run. With a deck like this, you can afford to open the 0/0 Drawn Blade, this, or even the Clock Bomb to actually be okay. But some others might think like a 4 of is like pretty much what you need to do, so I'm okay with that. Because I like this level 0 lineup, so it's truly up to you if you want to run 4 runners. That's why I have this extra one aside if you want to make changes. So yeah, it's self-explanatory. She's a free runner, and she nets you a stock every time she runs. So, and given that your opponent doesn't try Trifield, which would be pretty stupid if they do, but you know, it's okay, I guess, if they know this deck doesn't need to reverse, but that's fine. Next is 2 Clock Bombs. This is the foil, but yeah, I believe that Clock Bombs are kind of useful for things against on reverse plussing level zeros or stock bombs or whatever. And her other ability is you can discard a gloves event from the hand and you give negative 4k to something, which is pretty useful against early plays maybe, or some walls that you need to hit the center for, or whatever lane you need to hit. It's pretty useful in that accord, and I only have room for 2, so possibly you can possibly cut it out to have 4 ofs, or one more to have have 4 ofs in your level 0 game. So it's true, it's an option to run these. So yeah, and lastly 3 Akane. You can run 4, as the first say with the runners. You could just cut 2 bombs out and add 1 of each here, and what she does is pay 1 on play, pay 1, damage yourself 1, search for a level 1 character. So it's pretty much the best level 0 all around in this full set still. So yeah, so we have 18 level 0s, and pretty solid. Yeah, there's also the drop searcher you can play, but I find that to be a little bit unneeded in this deck, where you can turbo your way through to get cards. So yeah, at level 1 we are running the main combo, 4 of the 1/0 double rare Shizurucia in the anime set. What she does is, if you have 5 or more stocks, she gains 2k continuous, and then if you attack, if she attacks with the stock soul, you can take a Shizuru or Lucia character and you can charge it into stock, and that's when she attacks. Yeah, so she's netting you +1 stock for every Shizuru you have, and so yeah, it's pretty much what the deck does. It builds you resources for your endgame, and also crazily compresses your deck, I guess, for the whole game. And until you start paying it out, you start to decompress. But it's very good value, and something that we really needed from the from the first 2 sets that we had, and it's a really good engine. Next, I am running 3 of the 4/5 Ellie clones. I think that you can run 2, but there I don't have any more of the next card I'm about to show you. So this is a very suitable card that you can draw into or whatnot, pick it out if you don't have a better target from the Amagi Lucia. So yeah, it's a pretty good body to rest on, but I believe that things can get over her, like reversers, and climax combo that requires reversing can generate pretty much enough power to get over. So you want to have some of your counters handy if you need to keep either of these two cards alive. So yeah, like I said, you can't. I'm running one of the PR that came in with the box. So what she does is you can on play you draw two. You pick one of them, you discard the other card, and then you discard one from hand. So it's a very good uh, way to dig in to get your climaxes and discard out if you're overflowing with cold bars and whatnot. So yeah, I've seen people cut this out, one of the Taige or Ellie clones, and add one more of the PR, which is pretty good. Since you want to prioritize of having at least two of these on board, and at best three, and maybe one of these, maybe. So that's the main level 1 line I have. The rest of the level 1s are the gloves. They go 1-0. As I said before, they're bondable to from the 0-0 Curse Lucius. And what this actually does is you have to have a Lucia on board for you to activate this. And this is a backup that gives power 500 times the number of your stock when played. So it can get to high numbers consistently with this deck. Like you say, if you had 10, this would be a 5k counter. If you have 15, this would be a 7.5. So you guys should get the point that you are by basically playing a hand trap deck with this card. So yeah, level 2 is pretty simple. I'm running two of the Lucias that are anti-character backup, and she gains 1k for every Shizuru or Lucia on your board. Also, when you play a climax, you can, when she reverses a character, you blind stock one from the deck. So very suitable as a beater at level 2, and kind of you don't need to you don't need a anti-level suicide or bomb, whatever, because she can get pretty huge. If you can get her like up to about 12-13k, you should easily flush out any big level 3s that come out early. If anything, you can try to play this 2-1 blue, but it's only a bottom deck, so they can actually search them back out. So really, it's really situational, but I believe these get the work done. You can run 3, but at the last slot, I'm running 2-1 just for the flavor. I really do like this Lucia a lot. From Harvest Festa, on it, she gains 15 for every marker under her, and how she gets marker is you have to reverse a character from the on your opponent's board, and she gets markers from the waiting room. She requires occult characters, so what the good thing about this deck is I think all of the characters in this deck are old cult trait, so it's pretty much the only card that really cares about traits. So, but obviously you can run 3 of her, so it doesn't really matter. And the big thing is she cannot get countered by character backups. Makes her pretty powerful. So as for a boss, she is a good boss for our level 2. For level 3, we have the new Lucias that are the back row. On play, you look at the top 2 cards, or no, you draw 2, you discard 2, you blind stock 1, so she's another discard out. Also, she is experience 6. It is good to mention that because we are running 10 level 3s, so this is manageable to do every game, but if it happens you don't do it every game, like experience 6 at level 2, it is okay. It's not really, it doesn't end the game for you, it just makes the game a little bit difficult because of early play pressure. So it's just okay if you miss, but if you do get it every game, it's to your advantage. Also, the combo with this, with the gold bar, Asahi Haruka's power, what she does, or yeah, power, I guess. But well, most important point is when you play this, you can ditch a Curse Lucia, this one, and top you mill one if it's a level 1 character or higher. That's Shizurucia. Shizurucia, sorry. You can neg the board 4k of characters that don't have Rucia or Shizuru in the name. So obviously Akane dies, but you're pretty much not gonna have her late. But notably, if you splash another character just because of their use, which I'm gonna go over later, they will die. So if they're not Shizuru Lucha, they will die. So yeah. But what I usually do is if I can use the top check Shizuru, look at the top 2 cards, rearrange them. If I don't like that, I can play the climax, pay out the stock, look at the top 4. Hopefully, I can coin flip my way back into trying to get a level 1 or higher to proc this ability. So it's pretty much some of the interactions you can do with this deck that you can use to your advantage. So yeah, very solid. And also the level X, I forgot to mention, wow, the most important part is she gives level X in front where X is equal to 1k and X is 1k and X is level. So yeah, obviously. So yep, that's one of the level 3s. Next are 4 what I think is the best finisher in rewrite as of now. What she does, she's heals on play. She's heals on play, and then when she reverses a character, you can pay 3, discard 1, burn 2 to your opponent, and scry 1 from your deck. So she serves as a defensive threat, an offensive threat, and with how much this deck builds, you can punish your opponent for not trying to overpower her, which is a counter strategy of just dealing damage, which is what people do these days. You just want to deal damage rather than to get over stuff, maybe. So it depends on what cards they have, if they can get that high. So with her in the back, she can get up to 13k, and if you have a 1-0 backup, you can get her higher. So it's a very powerful card, in my opinion. So around 4 of her, you kind of need to clock a blue character or whatnot. So make sure you have that thing in mind that you need a blue character to play her, just for or it's just good housekeeping, And then lastly, I'm running 3 of the Shikinami events. This is obviously bonkers. What this does is it's a 3/4 where you discard 2, your opponent's board loses 2 soul, which is pretty much a little safety net that you can do to your opponent, and pretty much snowball your way into having lethal the next turn. And if they try to get to the strategy of trying to get over her, and yeah, you guys know what to do. So yeah, that is 10 level 3s. Now, if you're a purist, there's some people out there that are purists. So I've tried to put in some. I tested some level 3s out. We have the level 3s from Harvest Festa and the level 3 from your first set. Now what this one does is she gives negative soul to the card opposite of her, and she attacks something, something gets reversed, you can pay one and heal one, which is not that bad of a card now, with the obviously with the Lucia. Next is the early play Shizuru with the old requirement of 6 in the ready room. And the stock isn't an issue, it's just this is kind of a bad card as it is. But she gives 4k to something on play. So, you know. She used to be really good to the clock kicker, but now the clock kicker is unplayable with this in this deck. But we can. I'm going to make another deck. Make the other deck that runs the clock kick. So yeah. Okay. So that's the deck. Pretty much go over the changes. But here are the climaxes for gold bar. And as some people have mentioned, the gold bar goes really well with this deck because it's not going to be stuck. Some people are obvious, or you know, I don't want to name drop, but this guy said he the gold bar does pretty well in this deck, so this card can get stuck. So yeah, pretty much that point was pretty good to know, and how this deck functions and the RNG. So you can run the fourth one. This doesn't hurt you, but you know, you're good with 3. These could be 4-ups. And the drop searcher I told you about, or told you guys about, this is the drop searcher, which is you mill top 2 cards. If any of them are climax, you give something 15 on play, and then it's a drop searcher on play. So it's whatever. I don't think there's any room for it, because it is also a situational one. For those tech-savvy players, you can run Chihaya in this deck, where you can play Akane, you can search her out, draw into it, whatever. So she can be played in this deck. It's just she'll get killed by her if you get it procced out. So be aware of that. But she is a very fine card to run even in this deck. There's the 1-0 that you can run 4 of maybe. The BQ Shizuru is a fine card to do. It's just not preferred because you already want the 0-0 Lucia in your back row. But there are no other back row characters until you get later in the game, so maybe not. But I just wanted to mention this one. It's a global 5, and you pay 1 and rest her. You can fix your clock and replace it with something from your hand. Next is the 1-1 backup. Not really needed, but it's there. It's playable. And then your level 2 options, you want to run through this. The other level 2 is just for my own flavor. So yep, that's the deck. Pretty much it runs itself pretty well. I think it's a very fun and easy to use kind of build to bring players into the set. I think it has a pretty high ceiling with what it does and all that. I think we can see it top maybe in the Asia tournaments to come maybe, and it's probably in the middle with the other 2 decks being Gaia and the meme team deck. So I believe this deck is pretty powerful in its own right. So yep, I hope you guys enjoy the video. If you guys have anything to say, put it down in the comment section below. Give me a thumbs up, thumbs down, whatever. Subscribe. Also, thank you for around 3,200 views. I really try to put some content out and try to get this little community going, what we have and all that. So although I'm not like TTT or any other Canadians, I think I'm doing pretty okay at that channel. So thanks guys.